What is up, you guys? So we are back yet again, and I know I'm a day late yet again, but I do want to thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. I've been looking at my analytics, and a couple of you did, and I'm glad that you stuck around and heard my opinions, and hopefully you agree, maybe disagree. That's what's good about opinions. But today we're going to be talking about the hype train and the effects that it can have on the gaming industry, because it is a completely unrelenting force whenever it comes to making or breaking a game or game console with the Nintendo Switch coming up. So that's the first thing that we're going to talk about, is the Nintendo Switch, and this is the game that the hype train is full force ahead driving at. We are driving towards the Nintendo Switch, and whether we make it or break it, a hype train doesn't care. Because if the Nintendo Switch flops, we'll just move on to the next game. Probably Red Dead Redemption 2 or Super Mario Odyssey, depends on if we're still big into Nintendo whenever we get to the Nintendo Switch. And if it succeeds, then that's great. Maybe we'll start heading towards Splatoon. But it seems like the internet, it drives this hype train, and it's terrible. Like, it's done so many bad things to great games. No Man's Sky, whenever you stop looking at what everybody wanted, it was a pretty good game. But nobody knew that, because everybody thought, well, this is what it's going to be like, whenever the developer didn't even say, this is what it's going to be like. Now, they did say that we're going to be able to meet other players out in the cosmos, but that ended up being not true. And I'd imagine the developer thought, there's, a 1 in a million chance that somebody's going to meet somebody. And then that happened on like the third day or within the first week or something. It was pretty interesting how quickly they met each other. But the fact of the matter is that the hype train, whenever it hit No Man's Sky, it stayed for about a week. Oh man, this game is so great, for about a week. And that's whenever it ended. And honestly, I have no idea why it ended. No Man's Sky was an alright game. It wasn't great, and I know that the developers of No Man's Sky know that it wasn't great. But I don't know. And with the hype train going towards Nintendo Switch, so many people are so excited for this console, but in the end, whenever you get it, what do you have? You have Breath of the Wild, that's it. One game, and you're about to spend $360, because that's the Switch and the game. That's crazy, that you're going to be spending $360 to play one game, whereas if you would have just kept your Wii U, you would have been able to play it for $60, and it runs the same on either console, from what I understand. So, the hype train is going to completely ruin The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and the Nintendo Switch. Me personally, that's how I feel. Because people are going to get their Nintendo Switch, are going to be playing it, and then I can think of 2 or 3 games at launch that I really want to play. I really want to play Breath of the Wild, of course. I really want to play The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, because, well, it's The Binding of Isaac. It's a great fucking game. We already have it. We've already played it. We know that it's a great game. And that's all that I can think of. Maybe Super Bomberman R, but even that, people are saying it's like a downgraded version of Bomberman. And you shouldn't have to downgrade on the Nintendo Switch, honestly. But the Nintendo Switch is fully portable, and that gets me hyped, because I like my portable systems, especially whenever they can play console quality games. Like the PS Vita, I would have kept it if it could play Borderlands 2 at the same quality that, PS3 or Xbox 360 could. But it dropped in frames, so I ended up selling my Vita. And that's the main reason that I didn't keep my Vita, is because it didn't play console quality games. And I feel like that's what's going to keep Nintendo Switch, relevant, is the console quality games. They're not going to be able to go and do, these little portable mobile games. They got to hit it with the console quality. And I know that I go off on these rants sometimes and it's completely off topic, but what I'm trying to say here is that the hype train, right now I'm super hyped for it, so I can't say that, oh yeah, I'm guilty from being hyped. It's just that it's such a dangerous thing, man. And what's really bad about it, I don't feel this way about Nintendo. I feel this way about publishers like Ubisoft or Activision. And that is, whenever they start seeing a game get hyped, right, and their pre-order numbers start rolling in, and it's in the millions, in the 10 millions, I feel like they give up on the game. I feel like they think that, oh, well, people like it how it is, let's just leave it how it is. And then they shrink their development staff. I doubt that that's what they do, but it seems like once those pre-order numbers start coming in, that's whenever games start being shit. And maybe that's what happened with No Man's Sky. You have this indie developer, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they developed anything on that scale before, getting all these pre-order numbers, and honestly, I think they were just sort of like, alright, we'll give up. Which might be the reason that it got delayed for, I think it was 2 months it got delayed. Because, the game was repetitive. I'm not going to argue about that. The game was super repetitive. But it was still fun. I still had a blast exploring the planets. Now, if you were just like, oh yeah, get to the center of the galaxy and that's it, then, you didn't really explore much. What you really want to be doing is exploring, in my opinion. But, let me see, what else is there? Something else that I've noticed about No Man's Sky is people had these wild imaginations about what it would be like, and it's like, the developers haven't said any of this yet. Why are you guys getting so hyped about it, and hyped about this one feature that you've just sort of made up out of the air? Like, the developers told you it'd be like a 1 in a million chance of you meeting somebody. Why do you think you're going to be able to travel throughout the galaxies with your friend on PS4? It's asinine to think that, because the developers told you the chance that you have. And honestly, if you could spawn in on other players, that'd be awesome. Like, I don't know, have like some sort of teleportation device that you get after your first journey to the center of the universe. That would have been pretty cool, but we didn't get that. Trying to think of anything else that the hype train has caused that pretty much made anything fail. Because to me, No Man's Sky was a failure. It was such a great game. I wouldn't say great. It was an alright game. But people were just so excited about it that they let that excitement get in their way of what was actually going to be coming to them. But yeah, it's a dangerous thing to have, but it's also a good thing to have, seeing as to how after that first Switch presentation, I say first, it was technically the second, I think. But I suppose the first that I'm thinking about was just a trailer. I don't know. After their Switch presentation, all of the pre-orders are pretty much gone. And, that's not a bad thing for Nintendo. But now that hype sort of faded away, it's just sort of like, wow, we're going to be playing 2 games at launch. They have an alright launch lineup, as far as number of games, but it's Just Dance. It's, stuff that we don't want to play. Oh yeah, Snipper Clips. That's also a game that I'm gonna be playing at launch. Let's see here. I feel like there's a game that I'm thinking of that I just can't think of. That sounded dumb. Trying to think of other games where the hype has just been so much and just pretty much made them flop. I can't think of any right now, but maybe it's just the recent phenomena of the hype just ruining games, which a lot of people are hyped for Honor. I hope that doesn't fail. Honestly, that looks like the one multiplayer that I won't be bad at, because I'm used to fighting with swords in games rather than using guns. I'm better at pressing buttons than aiming and shooting. But that's my opinions on it. I wish it was a little bit more structured like my other videos, but sadly, it's not. So I will see you guys on the next one.